we have a selection of stories for your edification and entertainment today. And we're covering why the internet sucks, basically, why it sucks, and why it used to be so much better back in our day.
Not enough
And
NSU.
yeah. Anyway, please do subscribe if you would like to hear more from us. If not, then goodbye and good luck on the rest of the internet, which is not as much fun. Okay,
Yeah, fuck
so
off.
yeah, yeah. Okay, enjoy the episode. Why the internet isn't fun anymore, from the New Yorker.
Not
Because
enough
it
porn.
sucks. The end. Great episode. Thanks, guys. Cheers for watching.
Not enough porn. That's why.
Not enough porn. Yeah. Well, somebody asked me the other day, "What kind of porn do you watch?" And I did not know how to answer that. Like, yeah, I was
You watch
shocked.
porn? That's weird.
Yeah, well, that what she said afterwards was, I said, I think I'm not comfortable answering that, and she said, well, at least you didn't say you didn't watch porn. I was like, all right, fair. I don't know.
That's funny.
Yeah. So this is an article from the New Yorker, and it talks basically about a lot of the stuff that we talk about on our podcast. I think they've been watching us, and just how the platforms have been, social media platforms has been going downhill, and they've not, taken over by mega corporations and losing all kind of sense of community, and stupid features being introduced and monetization being rampant and all these kind of things, and it's kind of horrible. There was one particular passage or part of this, a quote from this, that really got me. By the way, this was shared by my good friend Matt Saunders, he of the Yo-Yo Hive Mind. So thank you, Matt and Yo-Yo, for hosting my filter list for so many years. But yeah, there was, let me just find, oh God, I should have had this up. Do it live now. There was an article, a section which said, one Twitter friend told me of the platform's current condition. I've actually experienced quite a lot of grief over it. It may feel strange to feel such wistfulness about a site that users habitually refer to as a hell site, but I've heard the same thing from many others who once considered Twitter, for all its shortcomings, a vital social landscape. And, that sort of hit home for me, because, like, as much as we've complained about Twitter, I do have a sort of sense of sadness that this, I hate to say it out loud, but like home on the internet sounds so rubbish, doesn't it? Like,
Sure.
Just a place that I used to spend a lot of time and connect with a lot of real people is useless. It's gone. I've been betrayed. It's failed me.
They talk a lot about in the story how, like, you used to just be able to stumble across fun things and see memes that you never saw before, and there was a lot of like kind of serendipity to it. And I've been feeling increasingly disenchanted, even knowing how commercial it is. I think I brought up the example last week about the animal rescue videos, and just like now people are even staging that stuff. So there's literally nothing you can see online that you can trust has any type of like genuineness to it.
Right.
It's all just corporate, fake, engagement driven influencer bullshit from top to bottom.
It feels like that as soon as money gets involved, things go downhill. But then there's that old problem of it's not sustainable unless there's money involved somehow. Like, community owned and driven projects are rarely stick around much. There's exceptions, like some open source projects and stuff. But
were you trying to get in, John?
And sorry.
No, I'm with you guys. I think also, like, the magic of the internet's gone, right? The internet has been thoroughly discovered. Like, where before it was more of like it was like a trip. Like, you didn't know where you'd end up when you'd hit the internet, back in the day.
Yeah, so, this article's this was a separate article, and this one talks about forget privacy, you're terrible at targeting anyway. And there's a lot of overlap, I think, between these two articles. So I don't remember which I read where, but basically one of the examples I think he brings up is porn, is that the most clicked links on the internet are links that go to porn sites. Yeah. So if you want to find porn, just look for the most clicked links. And if you want to determine if something is porn or not, look at how often it's clicked. But his point is that with respect to ad targeting, because that's true, all ads have basically become as close to porn as possible, either in controversy or drama or whatever, to get people to click through, because that's the only thing that gets anyone's attention these days. Yeah. And it just really is totally true. I mean, he's got a huge chunk of the article that's about tracking and how marketers want to suck up all the data, but nobody really wants to then analyze it on the back end. Because everybody thinks like, oh, I need to know, how many clicks do they have here and how many times are on their page, and is the mouse hovering over this button for so long, and how do we recapture those views? But they don't know what to do with that anyway, and it all ends up falling back on just like shit advertising that's based on volume.
Yeah, because it's hard. Those kind of problems are really hard to solve. But yeah, you're right about the porn thing. It's one thing though, I will say. So I chatted with this on IRC with some friends, and sort of what I thought first of all was that I think we've been here before, right? There's been a couple of times when this has happened, like when, I don't know if you guys were around for Usenet or news groups. News groups used to be the place to meet people and chat about your favorite topic, and but then they sort of died off after a while, and a lot of it was to do with like they were shifted away because there was a lot of copyrighted content on there, and for one reason or another they kind of fell out of use. And then there was like there was IRC as well, which was the place to kind of chat to people and meet people on different topics and networks and stuff, and nobody uses that anymore. It's all of these things are still used a tiny bit. MySpace was huge for a while, and that kind of disappeared. So all these communities have come and gone, and I mean, MySpace wasn't really around for as long as some of the other things, but like, I'm hoping that at some point something else will come along and, I don't know, be there for 10 years or so.
But it's a much higher barrier to entry. One of the things he talks about is like just kind of like the fun nature of the internet. Is that's how a lot of content creators got started, is just by doing some fun little thing on their channel. But now the expectation of production quality and the professionalism of the videos and the content has become so high that it's a huge barrier to entry. It's not like people can just jump in and start doing that now.
Right.
As evidenced by this show, the very high production quality we have.
But this is, I think, a good example of how it can succeed. We're still having fun in our own little corner of the internet. We have 10 views every episode. We enjoy ourselves, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day. It's just a shift in perspectives. There aren't like millions of people in our community. Okay, I can live with that. And I was happy with that when I had a website before, and I was on forums with 20 people, and that was great. And then Twitter came along and it kind of expanded the conversation to more people. I could connect with more people, and that was good. But going back to what we had before isn't so bad, I suppose. I don't know.
Another really interesting thing from the tracking article, he talked about this. He was talking about personal recommendation engines, and he introduced the idea of satisficing, which basically speaks to the example he used was the Netflix recommendation algorithm. Is that
that's good.
They had a decent recommendation algorithm that would show people shows that they really liked, but occasionally it would show people shows that they really hated. And what they realized was that it was more important for them to keep people on the platform, and people were more likely to leave if they found something they hated. So as long as they didn't recommend stuff that people hated, they didn't have to recommend stuff that people liked, and people would stay on the platform longer. So it's like you learned the absolute wrong lesson from this. Well, you learned the right lesson based on your incentive. If your incentive is to keep people on the platform, then exactly what you're doing is right. But he also talked about how they had that $1 million prize to improve the recommendation algorithm. They did, and they never used that improved algorithm because they moved to this process of just trying not to irritate people so they'd not leave the platform.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really tough problem to solve, and the small differences can make small changes can make such a big difference.
But the problem is like you said, the financial motivation. So what do you like now that it's there? What do you do? Everybody wants to commercialize everything, which means more and more competition and more manipulation. And
I don't have a solution, man. I mean, we're not here to provide answers, are we? We're just here to complain about things. That's
I thought you said it was easy.
Well, no, I said it was hard. Is that?
No.
Okay, we'll go in a second. I know want to wrap up, but just the one little story that I think I've told before was a company that I was doing, and I was working on the payments window for a social media game, social games, like what's that, Farmville, stuff like that, where you buy little
Candy Crush,
Wordle,
Candy Crush, things like that, and you buy gem packs or bale hay, and So I worked on we had a whole team that worked on the little window that pops up that presents the different options you have, and you choose what you want to buy, and then you go to the payment thing, and then you bought it, and then it goes in the game. And there was like 6 or 8 people on the team, and we did some A/B testing to figure out what would be a more effective version of the next button, because there was like 3 stages: your selection, the payment, and then done. And we A/B tested different colors of this go button and different wording and all sorts. And we, at the first time we did it, we found that putting go on the button and making it green and red, we got loads more clicks on the go button. And we were like, okay, cool, great, that's fantastic. And then we put the go button live. And then we found out that we actually made a load less money, like a lot less money. So then we thought about it a bit more, A/B tested some more, and we found out, we changed the the metric that we were measuring to be how much money was being made, not how many clicks were happening. And we changed it to be continue to payment. And we got way fewer clicks on it, but the revenue went up because it was more clear. Our theory is that people were clicking it to find out what happens on the next screen. They just didn't know, and they weren't interested in buying stuff, and having to make it longer was, So anyway,
that's actually a huge problem in marketing, because there are consultants who are in lead generation. They'll say, oh, we'll generate you millions of leads, but there's shit leads that you can't convert. That huge fight between marketing and sales all the time. Marketing's on the hook for generating leads. Sales is supposed to close them. And they'll say, well, you keep giving me shit leads. And marketing says, yeah, but I'm giving you a pile of them, so suck it up.
All right, fascinating story, good stuff. And we'll see you tomorrow with our AI roundup. Like and subscribe. We love you very much, all our subscribers. And if you want some of our love, just click the subscribe button. That's all we're asking.
Just that.